Hello, welcome to an educating episode of a special report on Agricultural Research Council of Nigerian Television, ARCN TV. I am Amin Khadija Oluwatoyin. Our special report for the week focuses on job creation and harnessing the potentials in having a craft as business. There is an adage which says, teach me to fish and not give me fish. This phrase is the exact way to describe the training of youth of Cross River Central Senatorial District in different crafts at Ikom, a gateway to Obudu Ranch in Cross River State, South Nigeria. The aim of the training is to create employment for the youth of the community in the absence of a white-collar job. In every empowerment and training, there must be focus. The coordinator of the program, Mr. Obong Robert, said this is part of the initiative Senator Sunday Ono is bringing forth for the people of Cross River State.
There's a saying that says, teach me how to feed, do not give me food for just one day. It is very pertinent that we take this very seriously. We've done a lot in agriculture, we've done a lot in other fields, and I'd like to congratulate you that you're one of those that have been chosen from the various local governments and wards to come here and take home. Because you see, knowledge is never enough. You know, some of you may know how to craft or maybe know things about skill, but it is important that you take more in. And with the number that we have here, which is very reasonable, is spread from the 6 local governments that make up the Central Senatorial District, you would agree with me that if each of us take back what we have done here, what we have learned from here home, we'll be having a multiple effect of what we have learned. He has said that I should ask us or urge us to take it very seriously. It is important that we don't just depend on the government. Like you expect some people do these things. You see them wait for those who are representatives to come, and all they do is go to the doors of these people, knock only to ask for what to feed with. But you see, humanity is dynamic. You have a lot to worry about. Therefore, you must have something in your hand that is very tangible to live with. Even the Bible says that it is the works of thy hand that God shall bless. So if you don't have something in your hand, the hand is empty. God will not even know what to put in there. So let me officially declare on behalf of our principal, this workshop open.
The first day of the training, which is theoretical based, had the trainer explain how to make varieties of snacks and liquid soap.
If you are doing cake, if you are doing chin-chin, if you are doing buns, they all have recipe. You can't just go on and start doing them like that. You have to follow it step by step. A baker, it helps a lot. So whatever you want to learn today, I beg you to put it into practice. If you are not doing it for commercial purpose, you can do it for yourself. You can do it for your children. You can do it for your husband. You can do it for your friends. I have children, and all my children are learning one skill or the other. I am educated. I have a job that I am doing, but I am a caterer. I cook for people. I sew. I'm into interior. I don't depend on my salary. If you depend on your salary, it will not go anywhere. We are going to start with butter. Since we are starting, we are going to use 500 kg of butter. In a sachet of butter is 25 kg, right? A sachet of butter, it contains 25 kg. That's kilogram. That is a sachet. So we are going to use 2 sachets as beginners. So 2 sachets is 550 grams. Sorry, it's 50 grams. We are going to use 50 grams to start, for a start. We are going to use 500 grams flour. Flour is 500 grams. I would advise you to buy a measurement cup. As a beginner, I'm going to show you what measurement cup is and how it looks like. I'll teach you the different measurements. Sugar, we are using 300 grams. We don't use water in cakes. Egg will serve as our water. We don't use water. In this recipe, there are some recipes that has water, that contain water, but this one doesn't contain water. So we are using 6 eggs. 6 eggs. 6 large eggs. 6 large eggs. If the eggs are not large, you make it 7. You know, there are some eggs that are small. So you can say 6 to 7 eggs. I don't use the preservative they sell in the market. I use my own preservative that lasts longer. Any rum, dry gin, to preserve your cake. So you can use any dry gin, just a little of it. It can be like 5.7 ml. You know this, the cap of your paracetamol syrup and all that measuring cup. You know, we have 5 ml, we have 7.5, so you can use 7.5 of it as preservative. That's all for cake. A good cake should be very soft, not strong. A good cake should be very soft and fluffy. A good cake should have a good taste. And why I did not add milk into that recipe is that milk and egg doesn't go well. Your cake will get bad within a twinkle, or maybe 2-3 days, your cake will go bad. Unless you want to eat it immediately, or you want it to last for 1 or 2 days. Then you can add milk. Method of baking cake. Butter and sugar in one mixing bowl. Turn butter inside sugar or sugar inside butter. You whisk anti-clockwise like this. Don't whisk like this. One side. With a spatula. You're turning gari. You carry and you whisk till your butter becomes white. And the sugar dissolve. You won't feel any sugar again. The butter will be like, the texture will be like your cream. And it will no longer be yellowish to turn to white. Then your butter is ready. You now whisk your egg. You break your eggs and put in a different bowl and drop any of your flavor. Either vanilla, strawberry, butterscotch, banana, pineapple, any flavor of your choice. You drop it. You know some flavors, we have 2 types of flavors. Some are liquid and some are powdered. So I prefer the liquid one. Just the cap, put like 3, so that the egg will not smell. You whisk it. Whisk it very well. Whisk it till the egg becomes white. You beat the egg. You are going to use egg whisker and whisk your egg. The flavor, any one of your choice, just put like 3 cups of that flavor. Okay. Yes. Then whisk it And he said I should bring it down. I said, beat it. You beat it until it becomes white. And as you're beating it, it will increase. It keeps increasing. It will increase. The more you beat, the more it increases. Spoon to a week's egg. You don't use spoon. And if you use fork, fork will not give you a good result. Fork will not give you a good result. So you buy egg mixer. Egg mixer is not expensive. You can get some egg mixer for 1,500, 2,000 and all that. Then you start. Are we there? Then when you finish mixing, your butter is ready. You start turning the egg into the butter, little by little. You don't pour it all. You don't turn it all. If you turn it all, it's going to give you problems. Your cake will fall. If you put your cake in the oven, it will sink. When you're baking, you have to be very careful. It's a very delicate snack. So you turn your egg little by little. When you turn, you mix. After about 1 minute, you turn again and mix. That's how it continues that way till the egg is finished. Then you now do the final turning. Then for your flour, you divide your flour into 4 or 3 parts. Divide your flour into 4 or 3 parts and add it gradually and turn. This time you're not going to turn it the way you were turning butter. This time you're going to do folding method. You fold. You do what? You fold. You fold your dough with the flour. You fold it gradually. When you finish folding, you now grease your pan with a little butter and sprinkle flour on it so that the cake will not stick. When you're done with that, you allow the cake to rest inside the baking pan, to rest for like 1 minute. Let it settle. It's like when you go to fill gas. When you are back, you allow your cylinder to settle before you start using it. So you allow the cake to rest before you start baking. So you can bake that for 40 to 45 minutes. Your cake is ready. A modernized way of baking cake is using a mixing machine. So if you don't want it to mix fast, you regulate it, you reduce it. It's like fan. Number 1, number 2, number 3. When you're baking a cake, I was expecting that question from you. People did not ask me, no baking powder. People did not ask. You cannot bake a cake without baking powder. Baking powder is necessary because without the baking powder, the cake will not hold. The cake will not hold. There must be either baking powder or baking soda. There's a difference between baking powder and baking soda. We have bicarbonate of soda. There are some cakes you must use bicarbonate of soda, like chocolate cake. And we are going to do that tomorrow. It's not really a rising agent. The rising agent in cake is egg. Yes. We don't put yeast in cake. Nothing like yeast in cake. So let's go to the second recipe, which is chocolate cake. We are going to do 2 types of cakes tomorrow. Baking powder, you're using 1 tablespoon, a teaspoon. 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon. Because we are using 2 butter. We're using 2 sachets of butter. We're using 500 grams of butter. Right? We're using 500 butter. And I said a sachet of butter is 250. 2 sachets is going to be what? 500. And we are using... I said 50. A sachet of butter is 250 grams. Is that what I said? I am sorry. A sachet of butter is 250 grams. And we are using 2 sachets for 500. You wrote it, right? We are using 2 sachets for 500 grams. If I said that, maybe I didn't, sorry. Then that's why we are using a teaspoon of baking soda. We are using a teaspoon. If we are using 4 sachets of butter, we are using a tablespoon of baking powder. Chocolate cake. The first one is a plain cake. Plain cake. Plain cake. The first one is plain cake. Plain. Yes, plain. This second one we are doing is a chocolate cake. Recipe for chocolate cake. Of flour, a cup of flour. 1 cup. We just want to do a small one since we are learning. Let us start from small, isn't it? So we are going to use 1 cup of flour. We are going to use 1.5 cup of milk. This milk is not dried milk. We are going to use liquid milk. About 4 cup of vegetable oil. 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. I'm going to show you the cup and I'm going to show you the measurements. 1 large egg. 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. You all know cocoa powder, right? You all know cocoa powder. I will show you. It's there. I will show you. Cocoa is brown. It doesn't have sugar. It's just plain. We use it for baking. 5.7 gram of baking soda. See, the other cake has no baking soda. This one has baking soda and this one has baking powder. So baking powder and baking soda, we are going to use the same measurements. It carries the same measurements. 5.7. 7.5, sorry. 7.5. 7.5 grams of baking soda and also 7.5 grams of baking powder. I said there are 2 different things. We have baking powder and we have baking soda. So in this recipe, we are going to use baking powder and baking soda because it's a chocolate cake. And in this chocolate cake, we are not using butter. We are using oil. I mentioned oil there. 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. Method, preparation, procedure, all is the same thing. You sieve all the dried ingredients together. You have taken measurement of your ingredient, isn't it? You sieve them. You sieve your cocoa powder, your flour, your baking soda, your baking powder. You sieve it and set aside. Sieve it. Filter them. Filter them, set them aside. When you set them aside, you now break your egg. 1 egg. In a separate bowl, you turn your milk into that egg and whisk. You whisk it very well. You beat it very well. Which the method? You filter your flour, your baking powder, your baking soda in a separate bowl. Are you there? And I'm expecting 1 question from you. This chocolate cake no get sugar. The first recipe I gave to you has sugar. Why? Una no one ask me, this one no get sugar. Okay, make I leave am now. I should leave it. I should leave it. 1 cup of sugar. 1 full cup of sugar. Do you know why the sugar is that much? Because the chocolate has it has bitter taste. So the sugar should be high. Beat your egg and milk together. When it is well beaten, you now pour your oil and beat. We have measurement of oil, isn't it? You beat it. In that process, you now add your warm water into the mixture. We are now trying to form liquid for our dry ingredient. The liquid we got in the other recipe of butter, egg, and sugar. This one, we are not using butter. We are using oil, egg, and liquid milk to form liquid for this other dry ingredient that is being set aside. When you are baking chocolate cake, you have to be very, very careful. It's more delicate than the other cake. After greasing your pan, your baking pan with butter and flour, we have what we call parchment paper. But if we don't have, in the place of parchment paper, we can use this exercise book. You just pull it, shape it round, and place it on the pan, so that the chocolate cake will not stick, so that it will not stick. Then you bake it for 45 to 50 minutes. Liquid soap, the last one. Salt, 50 grams, salt, 50 grams, 50, salt. Where dey your kitchen? Liquid soap, Morning Fresh, one they buy from market. Salt, your salt in the kitchen. Texapone, Tex, X, as in Texapone, PON. Yes, 250 grams. We are doing 10 liters. XLX, 150 grams. SLX, it means sodium lauryl sulfate. Is a foaming agent. XLX is a foaming agent. Now that one, they make the soap, they foam. Then we have color. Any color of your choice. It can be red, pink, green, or plain. Then the perfume. Yes, perfume. Those are the three major ingredients we have in soap. Those are the three, but we have more. Those are the three major ingredients. Without those ones, you will not have a good result. Those are the three major ingredients we have for making soap.
Practice, the same makes perfect. This saying took the trainees to practice what they have been taught the previous day. The participants took turns to make different snacks like cake, chin-chin, peanut, just to mention but a few.
Recipe say cream it until it becomes white. It's turning some cake where you go eat or you buy from market, you see fruits inside, right? Please, not just buy fruit, come turn inside cake. Soak the fruit for 24 hours. As a baker, you should have fruit in your container, soaked with rum, any kind of rum. If there's this one they call 105 or 150, 501. Yes, and that's what I use to soak my rum for 24 hours. I have it steady in my kitchen. moist cake. Our plain cake, we have chocolate recipes. Like I said earlier, we have banana cake, we have...
The participants, who were obviously elated by the opportunity given them to be employers of labor rather than wait for white-collar jobs, thank the organizers of the event.
Okay, first of all, I want to thank God for this very great opportunity that have come this very moment. Myself, I've achieved a lot because things I've seen here and things I've been hearing on radio, watch on television, I have seen them live, I have performed live. And the cake, most especially, that we used to, pay money, they just bring it for occasion. I can now boast of, be able to do cake. And even the soap, the washing soap, yeah, and the peanuts, which I love much. I want to thank the team, and most especially our principal, the senator representing Central Senatorial District, Cross River State, in person of Professor Dr. Sandy Ojaono.
Chocolate cake. I achieved how to make a liquid soap. I have to make peanuts. I don't have the idea before, but with this opportunity that I've gotten now, I can be able to go there and start my own business. In fact, it's good to go. He's the only one we know. Yes, he's a good man. He's a man that has a mind to help. Not everybody that give out. Yes, I believe he has spent a lot to hold this skill acquisition. Almighty God will bless him.
With the training, it is hoped that the menace of poverty and unemployment will be addressed in the Ikom community and its environs. That is how we wrap it up on Special Reports. I hope it was educational enough.